Here we go again, back in the trenches. My name is Jamal Charles. I'm a hat man. I live in Baltimore, Maryland, East Baltimore all day long. And what the subject matter is right now is Mr. Hassan Campbell. Let's get straight to the business. You don't have no clue of what you talk about when you stated in your conversation that the Nation of Islam is like the KKK. I was raised in the Nation of Islam. I went to Muslim school, so I know about being kings and queens longer before you even think about that. And plus, another thing, it was an environment where they taught you self awareness, self defense, self education, and it also empowered you to get, employment with your own businesses as coming up. Now, if it wasn't for the Nation of Islam and the Black Panthers and the other organizations through the 50s, 60s, and 70s, a lot of niggas would have been hung up in trees or killed. And also, a lot of brothers that were in prison and came out of prison during the 50s, 60s, and 70s through the Jim Crow South and the Civil Rights era were able to obtain self-awareness about themselves and things of this nature. If they was on drugs or alcohol, stuff like this, then you're going to compare that to the KKK. There's a lot of different things going on with Mr. Farrakhan that we can dispute on a 24/7. You understand what I'm saying? But Elijah Muhammad and Farad Muhammad have embodied people to take care of themselves. That's what you're not talking about. You're not talking about the Jim Crow South and the Civil Rights era when blacks were beat, dogs were sick on them, and things of this nature, and we had to fight back. A lot of gangs were formed in the United States from the atrocities that we deal with in these streets and rural areas and things of this nature. Let's talk about that. Don't talk about what the Nation of Islam has not done for the black community. My mother is a pioneer in the Nation of Islam and just celebrated her pioneerism in that, type environment for 50 years of service. So I don't like that conversation. So when Mr. King Ernest says you don't have any, he'll snatch your honor, honor anyway. Then you got Brother Polite out there looking for you in New York. I don't know what he's looking for you for because it's a waste of time. Then you got Mr. Nair, say Nair in New York, having certain conversations about you and things of this nature, which doesn't make any sense to me because you are what you are. People that have a problem with somebody that has sex with them don't go on social media and make a platform about it on a consistent basis. That's exactly what you're doing. You're saying that Mr. Bambaataa, African Bambaataa, was having sex with you, this, that, and the third. I'm from the trenches. You understand what I'm saying? We ain't no gang. We me find me, and we handle our business. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to have a long conversation to the whole world about some pedophile that's supposed to have sex with me. You handle the business. That's not what you do. It's no whole lot to talk about, but we ain't going to get on that subject. But when you sit up and disrespect embodiment of people that have helped people over the years and years of all atrocities that have happened to our people, you shouldn't compare that to the Ku Klux Klan. No organization is perfect. I'm not perfect, and you're not perfect. But what I got a problem is what you trying to denounce something that I was well educated in and things of this nature. Let me explain that to you. Well educated. I know about myself in 1974. You understand what I'm saying? And my father and mother come through an environment where as though that you literally was called a nigger and had a water fountains for whites and water fountains for blacks and things. Then they say you don't know nothing about that at all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to be derogatory to you degree, but the young fella up there in Philadelphia named Bobby Sloan, I think is what his name is, and all these other gentlemen that the one says he'll snatch your honor. How can he snatch your honor when you don't have any honor? You understand what I'm saying? You're going to sit up and apologize if you offended anybody. You did offend somebody. You can't even stand up for yourself. Real people do real things. You understand what I'm saying? Let's be really real about what it is. If you got a problem with somebody, which these men have called you out, say, come see him, come see him. Supposed to be really in the field. Another thing is, why don't you never get out your car? I'll never see you walking around or nothing like that, like Mr. Erner and all these other people, even Mr. Sloan up in New York. And it's a guy up there in Cleveland that was sitting on the sofa talking about certain things you sent him out. Never seen you in public or in a restaurant, anywhere in the community. You always sit in your car like some little scared ass rabbit. Well, he calls you a kitten. I'm not even gonna go that far with that. What you need to understand is this, right? Don't disrespect people that put a foundation out here for people to survive and they take care of themselves, take care of their families and things of this nature. No organization is perfect. And I understand what you were saying that, you want to apologize to agree, but don't apologize when you're lying to yourself. Maybe you should have joined the Nation of Islam when you ran home instead of going to African Bombada. Let's keep that real in the field if you knew anything about that. So I'm going to leave you with this comment right here. These dudes is telling you come see them. Get out your car and go see him. Be a man about that. You understand? You ain't man enough to go see African Bombada. Go be man enough to see King Erna and the rest of these dudes. And I'm not advocating any aspects of violence or anything like this, right? But be a man about your situation. Because I'm man enough to tell you that don't disrespect something that saved my life before I really had my own life, and it helped my father and my uncles achieve certain goals, whereas though they were successful men in Baltimore, Maryland, and other parts of the United States. And that's the message sent. And they took care of their families through all these different situations and hoods and the things of this nature that you have no clue about. So we're going to leave you with this message. When you say something, speak the truth and do your homework before you get back on social media. And may God bless you. Peace.